Hey, what's going on, guys? 118 Set Shadow here. So, let's go ahead and get straight in for today. We have a number of cards to cover this time around. And we're going to start with some stuff out of Festival Collection with Causality Dragon Crucial Dragon, which is the... I don't even remember how players refer to this one, but it's, I guess, a grade 3 cycler, even though it's not really a cycler. But it's one of those grade 3s from the Festival Collection that uses the over trigger for one of its effects, which is basically a Perfect Guard nullifier. It doesn't let your opponent use grade 1s or higher for the battle in which you banish the over trigger from your drop. But this card has some interesting stats to it. Right now, the triple rare is $3 base with 30 listings, but what I want to talk about is the FFR, which is at 4 listings and a base of $13, but otherwise it goes up to 20 before getting up to 30 for its final listing. So there are not that many copies left of this. Why it's getting bought out, I'm not too sure, but it is a strong rear guard, given that you can't perfect guard it if you use it with the over trigger. And on top of that, it's retired. So ultimately a pretty strong card, and for the FFR's price with this many quantities, there's the potential for a buyout happening. Cooling Heart Yuika is also low on quantities. We've got both the triple rare from the set 3 of Lyrical, and then we've got the special reprint that came out of Festival Collection. Don't be fooled by that $35 price tag. If we take a look at the initial listings here, the Lyrical set 3 version is still a $50 plus card, while the version from the Festival Collection is still 45 plus when you consider... Wait a minute. Let me check this again. Oh, I think someone bought it while I was talking about it. Okay, fine. So, my mistake. We are at... Oh, geez, and 3 of them got bought together. So, yeah, we're at $45 right now for this card. It's basically in the 40s and 50s. Spiritual King of Ignition Valnut. This is the stand trigger over trigger that we got from Festival Collection, and the bigger of the 2 new ones that we got in terms of value. This card is holding around $17 with quite a few listings that moved their way up to $18 for just the first page. But there are 29 listings of this card, so there's plenty of room to pick it up, and a fair amount of room for this card to go down, but we'll see. As for the other one, Spiritual Queen of Aquatics, Eidos Faro, this card is holding around $8 to $9, and is basically holding to that point on the first page as well. So a much more affordable version, but I mean, when you consider this one's effects, it gets a card from your drop and then gives 1 unit a critical. So it's basically a 9th critical trigger in a format where you're only allowed to play 8. And on top of that, it can get you any card back from the drop, meaning that mid to late game it can be pretty critical when you need it. Looking over the Wallista cards, let's take a look at what we got here. The Festa Magica FFR is still holding around $195 to start with 14 listings. The LSR from the original is back down to close to $100. When we look at the ride line, well, let's see. The non-grade 3 of the ride line, the non-grade 3s of the ride line have some value, ranging from 15 for the grade 0 all the way to 30 for the grade 1. But the SP of the original grade 3 Prismagica has a listing as low as $7, so that's fallen out hard. And when you look at the triple rare of the Festa Magica version, that's fallen below $10 too, despite the deck being quite capable right now in terms of meta play. Although it's, from what I've seen for the Japanese format, it seems that it does end up getting outclassed in terms of number of wins compared to other decks, but it's still probably the highest rate Lyrical deck that can win most tournaments right now. And now for our favorite CEO, Welstra, who just got support announced for him today, and I must say, I'm not impressed. Ultimately, what Welstra got were watered-down versions of various support cards that it already has. It got its own variant of Bobble Mine, which I'd rather just play Bobble Mine. It got another variant of... what's his name? Front. I cannot remember his name right now. The card from set 9 that lets you play products during the battle phase just like Welstra. Freyhot. That was his name. But essentially, Welstra did not get that much. Despite that, we saw the initial hype buyouts of this card. This card is now $18 minimum for its triple rare. Let's take a look at the base listings here. We have the Deluxe Collector SP, which is now $55, up from $35 to $40. And then there are 2 listings for $18 for the triple rare before it becomes a $30 card. But if we take a look at the triple rare sells, I mean, players did buy into them today for $15 to $20. Even so, I would probably just, if you already... I just can't justify. If I didn't have Welstra by now, I probably wouldn't pick it up at this price, but we'll have to see what happens. It is a fan favorite deck, and it's still a cool deck to play. But Freischützer Maximum, that's the one that I really want to cover, where one thing that I was hoping for was a new product card that might be able to better support or even outclass this card. But that's the whole reason why I think Welstra did not get what it really needed to stay up there. So ultimately, Freischützer Maximum is still the key product card that you're going to need to play for optimum performance when it comes to this deck. Although, when it comes to the sells, players did buy into this around $10, but the only listings available are $12 plus right now. But I have to say the same thing. If you can wait, I'd just wait. And talking about Bobble Mine, it's interesting to see how many prints we've got of this card now. Between the special reprints from set 9 and the Festival Collection, the original Double R, and then of course we've got the SP, which has hit $100 at one point. Now it's all the way back down to $23. Isn't that beautiful? Well, I mean, $22 is still quite a lot, but Bobble Mine is still a generic for any Brankgate deck and is still a capable support card. Hence why all the other versions still hold for $2.50 to $3, even with all these prints. So that's just going to stay for a long time to come. Something that has surprised me is Hexorb Sorceress. Between the triple rare Aquamarine from set 10 and the original version from set 1, apparently the set 1 version has base listings that are higher than the ones for Aquamarine. And that's surprising to see when Aquamarine is the one that you want to play more copies of, and yet this version, when we take a look, let's see, 99 cents to $1.33 for the first 3 low listings, but if you take a look at the triple rare from the first set, the base listings are $2 to $2.50. I'm surprised, really surprised about this, and I don't understand why. That's all. I just wanted to point that out because it was weird to see that happen. Then, talking about Lyrical Set 3 a little more, I did want to look over the FFRs and the FRs. Because if you take a look at a lot of these, I mean, Yuika is still sold out, so nothing to talk about on that front. But if you take a look at some of these other ones, 8 listings, 6 listings, 6, 9, 6... Basic... Okay, Mediel is an exception here. But most of these, and so is Michu, and Hasser. Okay, fine, maybe not. But there are a lot of FRs and FFRs in this set that are under 10 listings right now. So I just want to point that out, because if you were considering picking any of them up, they do have potential to be bought out pretty quickly given the low number of listings that we see right here. So if you have copies of these, well, you could put them up for a little cheaper than what you see right here, and they might sell more easily given how few of them there are. For crying out loud, Two of Us Rhyme, which is one of the counter heals only has one listing at $15, and I think this is the restand one? Yeah, this is the one for a unit that attacks twice. And yeah, that's all I have to say. They are running low in quantities for those high rarities. Sealed Blaze Dragon Samdi from set 7 is up in price with Basagra hype going around. But listings of this start at $9 for the double R, and then $18 for the frame rare. 7 listings and 4 listings respectively, so the frame rare is starting to run out, but the market price on the frame rare is only $5.80. Let's see if it's actually been selling. Only one copy sold for $15. Before that, they sold for just under $9. So will this card sell any higher than $15? It's gonna be tough, in my opinion. Forest Protecting Hunter Prosper is another card that seems to have been getting a buyout, particularly when you take a look at the base rarity of this one. This is a promo, but it's sold for $7 to $9, and now listings are as low as $12. So do keep that in mind. This is getting a bit of a buyout, so be careful when you go for Leonord support. Direful Doll Amandine is not really moving anywhere, and its FFR has really gone down recently. You can pick it up for $15 now, and it is a cool art. It's really good art. So, at least for the art, 15 doesn't seem too bad. Maybe it'll get as low as 10, because this card is not seeing that much play. It has 23 listings for the triple rare right now, but only 8 for the FFR. But it's $350 base right now when it comes to the triple rare. And then, oh right, this is what we were getting to, Tideline Dragon. And I hadn't really paid attention to this card for a while, but I was looking at the FR a bit more closely. It's 9 listings for $7 base right now with a market price of close to $5. But the double R is up in price too. As of, it was actually from 2 months ago. Because this used to sell for closer to $1, now players are readily buying them for $3 to $3.50, and there are a lot of listings available for that price, 16 overall, and so it is going back up in value right now. And to wrap up today's Market Watch is a new promo that has been put up on TCG Player. It's Flower of Ruined Castle and Posa, the card that all Drajul players have been waiting for. This card allows itself to restand for similar stats to Rakagur, but it does not cost any counterblast. In fact, it doesn't cost anything. But of course, and then it has the option to let you get some more cards out of your soul on top of that. But essentially, this card was only available at shop tournaments for the BCS that's coming up. And right now it's selling for as low as $39 to $40 right now. So, not sure. It is Drajuled, and we don't see as much play of it, so it'll probably go down, but the problem is it's a whole lot harder to access this card as compared to a lot of other promos, which could keep its price high for all the Drajul players who really want to play this. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.